Hello, everyone. My name is AP the Weird One, and welcome back to Full Metal Panic. This time, it's my overall thoughts in the series, kind of what I thought of it overall, where we're going forward in both the season and the light novels, volumes 1 through 3. So, my mission at the beginning of this series, and obviously this is still going to continue, but I wanted to rather know, does this series hold up? And as if this is a very good series for Christians to get into. You know, if you're a good Christian parent, is this a good anime to get yourselves into? And I'll answer the first part. This is probably a 16, 15-year-old plus. I mean, the anime does have a little bit of nudity, even though it's a bit censored, except for the butts. And there's also the curse words, which... take it or leave it. I mean, if you could just tell them, like, you know, if you well train them enough, it's be perfectly fine. And there are some good lessons to be learned from the series. I think, realizing that you don't have to go do everything on your own. Sometimes, not everything is a one-man mission. You can rely on others for help. Women do actually have your back. You just got to depend on them. Very important. And also just don't let them don't see them as a burden. Now, obviously, women have definitely changed over the years, but, I mean, having a good woman by your side is very important. I think respecting your leaders, depending on them. Not everything in life is going to go perfect. You got to account for that. I think Sosuke definitely learned that in the big final season, or the final acts, or volume 3 for sure. You can try as hard as you like, and sometimes you might actually make some progress. I mean, I think Tess has shown success. Go with your gut instincts. Sometimes that can work in your favor. If you feel something's right, then go pursue it and maybe apologize later. I don't know. That's a weird lesson to grasp. It's one you over years have to kind of think about and learn for yourself. Just, it's one that comes of age. But personally, like they said, 16, if you out of your house, 18, you're living on your own, sure, I think it's a fine series for Christian people. I mean, I'm more of the degenerate kind, so it's not a big effect. Now, does this anime hold up? I'm of two parts of it. I think the first half, volume 1 section, the meeting area, I think is done really good. And I do think the subversion is a lot better, and just the comedy aspects, it comes a little bit better, and there's a lot more straightforwardness to it. I think I do appreciate that aspect. The middle half, volume 2, mixed bag. It's not bad, but the light novel definitely delivers. And I think then going into volume 3 section, I think is the strongest section, has the best character moments, although I think the finale does fall a little bit flat in terms of the timing, the final fight, the suicide act by Garon. I think that's a little bit, it's a little bit wonky. I think there's a lot too much going back to the U.S. bases, and I don't think you needed that aspect where Callahan is on the Bunker Hill battleship. I don't think that's necessary. So you have that. But we also come up with a little bit of an issue of the filler episodes. Now, I think it's perfectly fine to have the filler episodes, considering that they kind of slow down the progress. They give time to breathe, and I think that's a very good aspect to do. The first one, Part-Time Steady. If it followed the light novel a little bit better, I think it would have been fine. I would have liked that a little bit better if it just followed the light novel around a little bit more. But, overall, okay, it's not bad. Then the next one is A Cat and a Kitten's Rock and Roll. This one I don't think is necessarily should be considered filler. I mean, it does get mentioned in the light novel. The anime alludes to it. This one, it's filler, but it's it's a good one. I would say this one, it's a keeper, a definite must watch, and it gives on Melissa's character, Tess as well. I think the light novel does slightly better, but it's the best of the best. The next one is Nashiro. I think this is Narashino Burning. This one is absolute trash. Skip it over like it's nobody's business. Move on from it. I do not like it at all. And of course, the last group, the Winds That Blow Home, also garbage. Skip those as well. So 4 episodes you can absolutely skip. I think this filler, like these new filler, could have been good, but it's, as I mentioned, the light novel series, talking about the construction of the Toothlodam, also the person who made the Arbalest. You also have the background to Callahan and Sosuke. I think that is actually important. I would have loved an episode or two dedicated to how they became groupies, because I'm going to spoil a little bit, but something happens between the two of them, and it puts them on puts them as enemies. I don't think, from my knowledge, the light novel really gives that impression that they're the best of buddies, so to speak. I don't know. I would have liked to see how they became, how they became friends, how they hooked up, sell some of the missions. I thought would have been really good. This Winds That Blow Home does nothing for that purpose, and it kind of actually downturns, it makes it seem like Sosuke's ability to activate the Arbalest Lambda Drive, he should be able to use it. He's activated 3 times. This should have been no problem. Actually, no, technically 4 or so, because he's acted a whole bunch. So, these episodes just take away from it. They don't add anything to the overall series. It just kind of makes it worse. And then the final one is Engage 6 and 7. This one's actually perfectly fine. I definitely enjoyed it. This is actually a pretty good one. In its most part, pretty faithful to the light novel. This one, absolute keeper, and it kind of makes sense to have it between Deep Sea Party and then Venom's Flame. Perfectly serviceable. So, out of all of them, I guess I think we have 6. No, set. I think we have we have 7 in total. 4 of them could have been gone. That's kind of how bad. And then the rest of, and like I said, we have no more to go off of. So no more to go off of. So you cut around, it's basically the middle part. If you're watching the series and you want to skip Part-Time SETI, that's perfectly fine. You can just go right into Dangerous House. However, yes, you could watch the anime and be perfectly fine. However, as the price point as is on Amazon, maybe you can find a little bit cheaper. It's about $30. You could do that, or you could go with this version, the light novel version. And this one's about $25, a little bit cheaper, if you can get on deals. And maybe you can go into a used bookstore and find it. I mean, you could also find the anime, but you get this, and you get a lot more information. You get a lot more setup for the future volumes. So in many respects, this is going to be the best version. Now, one thing I will say about the light novel is that I would say the colored picture, the colored pictures, they're fine, but I just kind of prefer the black and white a lot more. And I would even argue to say that I was gonna say the little inserts, these kind of these little inserts, like the ones right before all the light novels, these that reflect a scene from the in a novel. In the novels are a little bit better than the covers, but I do think they're good, but I just, like I said, I just prefer the black and white. The black and white pictures are just chef's kiss. So, yeah. Now, in terms of the light novel, I think the light novel's not bad. I think it still holds. I think it still holds up relatively well. I still like it. I think watching the anime and then reading the light novels, it's do I think this is good? There is a bit of a self-reflection on that, but I definitely I know I do like the second port, like this volume 2. It just seems a lot better than it is in the anime. The first part, is good. I think overall the anime captures volume 1 and volume 3 better for the most part. I like episode 23 is the best, is like the best episode of the season. Personally, it's just such a great moment. Tessa delivering the line to Garon, and then Sosuke immediately saving everybody. That moment you just can't capture. It's not well captured in the light novel. They exceeded beyond expectations. But like I said, I think I would rather, if you're gonna enjoy the series, I'd rather you pick up the light novel, because going forward you're gonna be able to enjoy all of it more. You're gonna be able to enjoy the full series because there's no anime edition for the fourth and final season. So best way to pick up the light novels. And I would say if you're gonna enjoy the anime, maybe you want to look up and watch the movies instead. You can buy DVDs that are just be all like Japanese, but if you can find fan translations of it, I think you'll go work well. You just avoid the filler episodes, which realistically speaking, there's only, I would say the one with Tessa, the Girls R&R, I think is the best of the bunch. Like that one is, I don't know, I would have, it's like the one you should most definitely watch given what everything's going on. And the other ones, even the one where you learn about Uzu 6 and 7 and then the part-time study, whatever, is take it or leave it. So yeah, I would probably just watch the movies instead. And there's also I've read a little bit. There's new information. So that's to me the best way to watch it. But like I said, you can't exactly watch those movies legally in the United States unless you have some way to import the Japanese version and you can understand Japanese perfectly. So overall, I think when I first watched it back, the anime, when I watched it back in like 2011 or so, or 2012, I gave it about a 7 out of 10 on my anime list. I still feel that way even with the filler. Like you can kind of skip it. The biggest bunch, like like you just know if you have in the back of your mind, just skip 14 through 17, just go to 18. That's going to be perfectly well. And then the rest of the series is, rest of the filler and everything is good, okay? I still stand by that, but I believe if you want to give this a little bit lower, maybe 6 out of 10. And is it like one of the better mecha series? No. It holds up, but like it holds up both story-wise and visually, but is it like something you absolutely need to watch? No. Light novels of this similar batch. Personally, if I were to give a more aptly comparison, personally, something I experienced was No Guns Life. No Guns Life season 1 was, it was alright. I'm like, okay, take it or leave it. And then season 2 it hit like a bombshell, like a nuked for me. It was really good and made me want to get the rest of get the manga and collect it. So maybe season 2 will be similar, though I've heard season 3 is a little bit different. Season 3 is a little bit different. And I get on the note of season 2. Season 2 is a bit interesting. Like I said, we're going to cover. Season 2 covers the volumes 4 and 5. 6 is unfortunately a Christmas is a bit of a Christmas audio drama, and I have a way to address that. I have a way for you guys to experience that. But what the issue comes up with in the season 2 is where the cutoff point, and it looks like there's there's supposed to be 14 episodes, but I think there's actually maybe 15. I was looking a little bit. I think there's there's an extra one. I'll check that out. See if it's worth mentioning. I know what this Leisure Day is, but there's like another one I saw on the Fans Translated website to see what that's all about. So I don't not sure where the cutoff point is. Maybe it's 6 or 7, and even the light novel is of a similar nature. Like just to kind of explain. All right, where is that? I think it's chapters Black and White is, and when you go into volumes 5, is there's a Black and White continued. So it's gonna be kind of hard to tell where the end point is. I'm gonna have to read a little bit in the light novels and figure that out. I'll probably do that around 5 or 6 or so, just to check it and see where it is. But yeah. Now I know there is Fumafu, and technically Fumafu was developed before season 2, but I want to stick to the mainline series just because the company is not always really good, and I kind of want a little bit of breather room after Invisible Victory. I kind of want to. I think that's what it's called. Invincible Victory. I kind of want to take a break from the reading. Oh, is it this? All right, we'll see. But yeah, I kind of do want to take a bit of a small break, and then I'll do the comedy. So we'll get around to it, but I want to experience something new, the actual story aspect. I want to continue with season 2. Anyway, I think I've rambled long enough. Hopefully you have a wonderful day. I do think Full Metal Panic is a good series to get invested into. It's really good, but I would stick with the light novel. The anime's fine. I wish it just had better filler. Like you should be able to watch an entire season even with the filler if it has some. Or if there is filler, maybe it's just like one episode. But there's just too many, and there's a chunk that are just terrible. But overall, it's good. Like the rest of the story aspects, like the main portions, those are really good. And then the three Engage 6 and 7, and I guess Cats R&R. I guess there's those are the only 2 that are really good. But yeah, like I guess aside from everything else, the rest are like meh or just well, okay. Boy Meet Part-Time City is okay. The other Nostril Burning Through 3 is, I feel about those are terrible. But anyway, all right, guys, I am not done with Full Metal Panic. I said, or at least season 1. I forgot to mention in my talking points, I want to talk about the characters. So, in terms of the characters that I like, Kamina is okay. She's not my favorite female. I really like Tessa. She's really good. Kurt stands out like a bombshell. I love Kurt. He is I would say he's my favorite character beyond Tessa. Like, Tessa's moments are because the Volume 2 segment, the Behemoth fight, she's okay in that. But Kurt is shooting sevens, or he's aces all 3 volumes easily. He is absolutely fantastic. I love him. I can't wait to see more of him in later seasons. Sosuke is alright, and then I think Mao's serviceable. I think kind of Mao and Sosuke are kind of the exact same boat. I think Sosuke is the weakest portion, and then Kamina, and then Mao, and then Tessa, and then Kurt is number 1. So the side characters are definitely the superior characters, which kind of sucks. That's not a good. I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. You kind of want your main character to be really well liked. If the side characters are not as good as the others, it definitely weakens them. I don't know, but Kurt I absolutely adore. All right, but now I am done with that. Hopefully, you have a wonderful weekend. See you guys next time.